So we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, you
We're live. Okay. It is, and it's good time.
Welcome to Arizona.
Vicky's playing with the lights, seeing what works best. So what's that, the warm?
Mm-hmm.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great week with all this craziness going on out there. We've got a lot of great things going on here. Dad and I went on a fishing trip the other day, and that was an adventure within itself.
How was that?
And we'll tell you about that sometime. But
Maybe.
but yeah, maybe not. But I got my new boat. You guys will see that on the senior moment on Sunday. That's going to post. And Dad got something new for his boat.
I got the motor and
Yeah.
got a battery. It's an electric motor. I got a battery ordered for it. Should be here tomorrow or Monday.
Right. So you decided to go get rid of the drill prop.
Yeah, I may use that in an emergency situation, but it was just something I was trying anyway, and it worked out. It worked good. Unfortunately, it was sort of flimsy, and I wasn't real careful with it, and I tried to raise the drill part of it up where the drill attached without lowering the other part, and
Kind of got
it kind of warped. So now if I put it in a drill, it kind of blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
So
kind of
I
bent.
do have another one, and I haven't hooked up to it yet, but I kind of ruined the first one, but that's all right. It was
But anyway, now you got an electric drill or electric trolling motor.
yeah, now I have an electric trolling motor. I'm going to have a 50 amp hour battery I've got coming that goes with it. So, and I used it. I used it yesterday on the water,
Yeah, and you guys will see that.
and
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
I just it doesn't work well with an automotive battery, but it works.
You guys will see the whole thing on it.
Frank says, "Howdy from Texas. You're in for a surprise tonight." I
Okay.
don't know what that means.
Uh, are we going to get swatted again? I hope it's not that kind of surprise. Hi, Frank. So let's kind of get into it anyway. You guys, I think you guys will like Sunday's video, the senior moment. So let's show what our giveaways. We got 2 giveaways tonight. Both of them are pretty cool. So this is the sign that we did last week. This is one giveaway. Bless you.
Excuse me, I feel a sneeze coming on.
Thank you for turning away. So this is one giveaway, and then we've got a couple cool products from Danny Meadows. This is a headlamp, and it's got a bunch of different modes. It's rechargeable. I'm not going to turn it on because it'll blind somebody, but it's really, really strong.
Frank said, "I spoke with someone you haven't talked to in a while. This person says they will try to join in tonight."
Oh, well, that's a mystery. And then we have a mosquito lamp. So this is a a pretty.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Pretty strong little lantern, and then it also is like a little mosquito zapper lamp. So it's great for camping or out on the boat or whatever. So kind of a neat little deal. So these are the second giveaway. This will go as one, and that will go as another. So all we ask is you guys give us a lot of thumbs up, give us a lot of likes. But Vicky's got some trivia questions she'll ask in a few minutes. Once we get done with all of our other stuff, and I'm going to show this right now, and I'll show it again at the end. But this is Danny Meadows' Nebo store, and Nebo is the one that makes these lanterns and all kinds of cool stuff. You guys have seen us talk about them before. So go to this website. This is his eBay store. And then just visit the store and type in Nebo, and you'll see all of the different products there. Talk Danny's stuff up because he's so gracious, and we've got actually a couple other products that we'll be doing giveaways in the coming weeks. Brand new stuff that really cool. Anyway, so thank you, Danny Meadows, so much, and I'll show those again.
Yeah,
when
and
we,
that stuff that he sends us to give to you guys is
Frank's
just,
asked if you could somehow send that in your weekly email.
the Nebo store. That's really a good idea. Somebody else had mentioned that. Yes, I will do that, Frank. I will. Yes. That's a great idea. I didn't know Frank got that email, but I guess I should have known that.
Does.
I guess everybody does. Everybody that's ever bought from us. Okay, so that was that. Again, I got some pretty good comments. My computer's been down all day. Had my computer techs working on it, so I haven't looked at my YouTube comments. I'm sure you guys liked that Zoom interview this morning with Dwayne and Miranda. Miranda, right? Yeah, Dwayne and Miranda Throckmorton. So thank you again, Dwayne and Miranda. That was so much fun. And we've got more Zoom interviews coming up. And if you guys want to be part of that Zoom interview thing, be sure and let me know. Send me an email, and I will definitely put you on the list, and we'll set it up. So, okay, I'm going to get into the questions. Let's get after this so we can have plenty of time for our giveaways. So I got 2 questions here, and they're kind of similar. This one's from Mike, and he said, I came across a rough cut oak, and I've been trying to carve it, but my router seems to want to go all over the place. It didn't do that with pine or poplar. Any suggestions? I've been using my Bosch hand router on high speed, the full speed, with his Bosch hand router, and this was happening with my fuse bits. Yours will be here tomorrow. So,
sounds like cottonwood rather than oak, but that's the way cottonwood acts when you try to carve it.
yeah, but it was rough cut too. So I have a couple thoughts on that. I want Dad's thoughts too. Number one, we can't tell you what the fuse bits are going to do. I know there are people out there that use the fuse bits. I never have used them.
I never have either.
I understand it's a veteran-owned company, so that's terrific. But I don't really know much about their bits, and I can't really talk to that. I can only I can only really give advice when it comes to using our bits and what what may be the problem. But I will say that when you're cutting rough cut lumber, so let me, I've got a little piece of lumber here that's rough cut. This is a piece of wormy maple, or it might be called ambrosia maple. But you can see this is definitely a rough board. And so there may be some things that are going on there. I tried, this is a base plate. So this will slide on there. Now this piece of wormy maple, and this is the email I got. I don't know what's going on with that piece of oak. If it's rough cut, you may have a cup to it. And if you're trying to carve, this may be kind of redundant for you, some of you that have been watching us for a while, but if you're trying to have that router base slide on that side of the board, you're going to have problems. I mean, not only is it rough, but with a cup trying to carve on that side, that's going to give you problems, or it would me. Because your base is hitting, so if you're going to use that, this would definitely be the surface of my board so that it can slide. Now that's with our base plate. You may be, and I think he's using a Bosch. This is a 450 off of a Porter Cable 450, basically the same as the DWP 611. But if you tried, to have that on there, you might have a little bit better result on that because it's not quite as wide. Well, it is pretty close though, but it's not quite as wide. But so you have to take into account.
Well, you would good at control what you have
That's the other thing.
with the bigger base.
Right, you're going to have more control with this because you've got your hands down on the board and you're holding the base plate. So that, kind of counteracts the fact if you've got a small, but he just says he has a Bosch router. I don't know if he's using our base plate. He's obviously at this point, he had ordered our bits, but he didn't have them yet. He was using the Foos
Well,
bits.
he might have a bigger Bosch too.
Well, it says Bosch hand router, but it might
Oh.
be the bigger Bosch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But if he get the full size router rather than the palm router,
Right.
they could make a difference.
Yeah, that could make a difference as well. So, but anyway, guys, if you're dealing with wood like this, if it's rough cut oak, I would definitely sand it down first. You wouldn't have to sand it down to where it's completely smooth, but I definitely would want to sand it down. Number one, so my layout looks better. Because if you try to do layout on this, you're not going to get a really crisp line, and that kind of goes into the second question that we have. But I'll get to that in a minute. But if you've got rough cut lumber, guys, do some surfacing on it. You don't have to get it completely smooth, but you definitely want to do some surfacing on it so that you can read your layout. And again, I don't know what kind of layout. I don't know if he was doing artwork. I don't know if he was doing letters. So I didn't get all of the details that I could have gotten on that email. But based on the email, definitely sand it down, guys. Take your belt sander, or if you're using a disc sander, and sand some of that roughness off. You don't have to take all of it off, but sand some of it off. And again, and if it's rough cut oak, it might be full thickness. Well, this is like inch and a quarter. But if it's rough cut oak,
What they call
chances are
5/4.
yeah, if it's rough cut oak, chances are you got a lot of thickness there. So take some of that down, smooth that out. You don't want to get those splinters in your hand anyway. So
And if you don't have a planer, or try to find one, or find somebody that's got one, I would carve a board like this if I had to, if that was all I had. But the chances of me carving this without planing it, because I've got a planer, I'd plane it down before I ever even started carving.
Bob Hatch is on. Did you have a question for Bob?
Yeah, Bob, I want to know where you got those handles that you sent me. I went into the computer and modified my file so that it'll accept those handles. I just put the 2 holes instead of the 1. But I want to know where you got those handles. I like them. I think they'd be much too expensive for me, but we're going to do something on that later on. We'll do something on a video, but I want to know where you got those handles.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily run this through a planer because of the bow in there. I might have to take too much off, but I would definitely hit it with my sander so that that I wouldn't have that roughness on there. I would definitely hit it with my sander and follow that contour or get it down as flat as I could.
Tim Forsyth said he just got a planer.
Yeah, planer is handy to have. I don't use it a ton, but it certainly is handy to have.
Yeah,
So
especially if you have like 5/4 material like that, because you could plane that down, run it through your planer, get both sides, and get it flat, and still have
plenty of thickness.
nearly
there.
a full inch of material left.
Yeah.
Even if you took it down to 7/8, slightly under an inch, still be a nice board.
So, yeah, and as far as the foos bits, I don't know what to tell you on that, Mike. But thank you for ordering bits from us. So he said his bits were going to be there tomorrow, and this was a few days ago. So,
Question
Mhm.
from Charlie Rooster. If you had the same situation but didn't have a planer or access to one, could you flatten it with the router slide and then lay out?
yeah, router sled, absolutely.
Absolutely.
You can
absolutely
use that
That's
on a router
as good.
sled.
That will do as good a job as a planer. It just takes more work,
Yeah.
but you can do it.
Yeah, you on a board that size, it'd be a little tricky because you want to make sure that it doesn't slide around on you. Vicky and I have had that issue before doing cookies and little slabs. So you definitely want to wedge that thing in and make sure that that is not going to slide within your router sled. But yeah, router sled, it can absolutely be done that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's got a bad cup or something on one side, use some two-sided. You cut the first side down flat, and then you can get the other side with no problem.
Yeah, and you can also use the. I really like for a temporary glue situation. I like the painter's blue tape and Star Bond. That is just an amazing temporary hold. So, and you guys have seen me use that before. It works really, really well.
Pat McKenzie, just as you're saying that, he said, Eric, temporary hold down with blue tape and star bond.
It works really, really well. It works so much better, in my opinion, than two-sided tape. I would never use two-sided tape again. Once you get used to that Star Bond and that blue painter's tape, or it could even be just a good masking tape. It doesn't have to be the blue painter's tape. Man, that just works so cool. Anyway.
Well, I just never done that.
Yeah, I know you have.
That's why I recommend the two-sided tape, which is what I've always used.
Yeah. But yeah, that once you got
Hit
used
that
to using.
thumbs up, you guys.
Come on, guys, give us some likes. We need them.
We need them.
Yeah, for your pattern making and stuff. Next time you make patterns on the Onzer and stuff, I got to show you that tape and the Star Bond, because man, that works so.
I like
so
the Star
great.
Bond. I've
Yeah.
used that quite a bit, but it usually just on stuff that
Yeah.
glue. And
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. Tape
Okay,
and Star
so second question. Johnny Singleton says, "I'm just getting started in sign carving. There's a lot on this one. Tried my first attempt on cedar fence picket, and it was disastrous.
Welcome to the club.
Lines on the layout were not crisp. Enough to follow. Just had to guess where the lines are. There's so much here to kind of unwrap. Tried it on both sanded and unsanded, same effect. We'll try on pine next. So I have a Harbor Freight trim router that I purchased one of your base plates for beginning. Would it be better to use a heavier router? Also, I forgot to mention I used a carving bit instead of the profile bit. So I'm assuming he's talking about a carving liner.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't know that, but I'm going to assume for this that he's using a carving liner instead of the profile bit I had purchased from you. I actually forgot I had it. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Bob said he got those at Miles Craft.
Oh,
Okay.
those are
Thank you,
Miles
Bob.
Craft. Okay.
I'll get those done and get them out of here tomorrow, by the way.
So, in regards to, I'm going to take this one at a time. In regards to using cedar fencing and your lines were not crisp. So what happened? One of two things, and he said that it was tried it on both sanded and unsanded in the same effect. So my hunch is, Johnny, is that very seldom will you get a piece of this fencing that doesn't have a cup to it. So what happened was, I'm guessing that you're using layout letters. That's what I'm picturing in my mind, because that's what I use all the time. But if I put a layout letter on here, and actually, this was a layout letter. Put a layout letter on here, and it had a rock where the layout letter is flat, and that the black spray went underneath. It would not give you a sharp line, and even over here, it wouldn't give you a sharp line. It would go underneath in the middle, and it would be kind of fuzzy. So my advice on that is, after you get your layout done, just take a pencil and draw in what you need to do. So take a look at it before you start carving, and anything that has any kind of guesswork to it, take a pencil or a pen and draw where it needs to be. That would be my advice on that. So,
And when you're doing your layout, don't be so much off to one side. Get a little over the top so that when you spray it, the chances of the ink going underneath
that's a
is
very good
slight.
point.
So if you stay above it, you get a much better line, especially if you got something with a little bit of a cup in it.
Well, and then the other part, that's really good point. I hadn't even thought about that. The other part of that, if you have your layout letter here and you're spraying this way, the top of the letters are going to be very fuzzy because you're not spraying that.
Exactly.
So if you need to be right over the top of it, otherwise it could lead to really fuzzy stuff.
Yeah.
And misshapen. But that's a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a very good point. So the next thing is I've got a Harbor Freight trim router. I purchased one of your bases for. Thank you very much, Johnny. Appreciate that. For a beginner, would it be better to use a heavier router? That is up for debate. I have had people, but I've had a few that have told me they don't like the trim routers. They don't like the small routers because they feel like they don't have enough control. They like a lot of weight, like a big full-size router. They like a lot of weight and gravity going on there. That's not my opinion. I like the trim routers. I like the small routers. I think I have better control with the small routers. But I have heard that some people like the full-size routers. They feel like the weight of the full-size router gives them better control. So that's kind of up for debate, really.
Well, it is, but bear in mind that both of us, I've been carving signs for 40, 50 years. I started with big routers. Eric started with big routers because palm
For decades.
weren't available.
They didn't have them.
But once the palm routers came out and we tried, we've used both, and we both prefer the palm routers. You don't need a lot of weight in order to have control. What you need is you need to have the heel of your hand on the board and hold the handles of the router. That gives you the control. The weight of the router on the board doesn't give you any control at all. You control the router. That's why we've used both for years, and now we've both switched over to where we use the palm routers. Unless we're cutting out shapes or we need the power. But that's what a big router gives you is power, but it doesn't give you any more controllability.
That's our opinion.
If the sound is going in and out, it's probably the internet. We've had a real bad windstorm here, and
Sorry about that, guys.
bring
Sorry.
it closer to you, and don't pound on the table.
So, yeah, that brings up a good point. Those people that have the opinion that the big heavy routers they have better control, I just don't agree with that.
Push your thing in your ear. Get that high pitch.
You can hear it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Oh, I hear it now.
I just wonder if that's got something to do with the interference.
Wow, I don't know.
You can still hear it?
Anyway, so our opinion is the small palm routers, and I think most people are in that camp. But I have heard that the bigger routers. But anyway, for a beginner, I would definitely go with the palm routers.
So I have Bruce Peter says we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. I didn't know what he meant, but he said November 30th was the first Friday night with Dave and Eric.
Huh.
2 years ago.
I'll be there.
Really? 2
I didn't
years.
keep track of that stuff, Bruce. Yeah.
Bruce is, wow, I didn't know that. It seems like it's only been 10 years.
Yeah.
Clicking your pen right in front of the
Uh-oh,
mic.
sorry. Okay, so that's that part of it. The last part that I want to talk about is I used a carving bit, I'm assuming the carving liner, instead of the profile bit, which I purchased from you. I actually forgot I had it. So let's say, and he's just getting started, let's say he's trying to use the carving liner bit like you would the profile bit. That's a huge mistake. You can't do that because if you try to go as deep with the carving liner bit as you do with the profile bit in order to get a wide enough line, it's not designed to do that. You're going to have major problems and you're probably going to break the tip off. I've never done it, but you're probably going to break the tip off of that carving liner because it's only single fluted and it cannot take the amount of wood that the profile bit can. So for those of you that have both of those bits, don't treat that carving liner like you treat the profile bit because it will burn. You can't, I I don't recommend going more than 1/8 of an inch deep with the carving liner bit.
Yeah, the carving liner is just for high detail graphic work. It's not intended as a profile bit.
So, the other things that it could be, it's possible that that you've got a rough board, you just got a bad board, and we haven't even talked about that yet. You got to check your moisture. If it's super wet, you're going to have major issues. So there's all kinds of different reasons.
Sound.
You want to switch mics?
This is the one you're supposed to have. So here, put both of them over there.
Okay.
I don't think it's the mics. I think it's the internet. Oops.
Hold on, guys. We're trying here. All right, so we'll see if this works any better. I'll put it on if you want me to. I'll put it on. I'll just
What,
wear
the
it.
sound went out?
It's
They're
in
saying-
and out. It's the internet.
Oh,
It's,
Well, let's see. So anyway, I'm hoping that is helpful, especially for you new guys and gals. So
yeah, I hate to see anything that kind of discourages
some of the
people.
people say the sound is fine. So you guys might just need to refresh your page.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but we need to.
Sounds good here. All right, so yeah, let's
Yeah, I've got my sound amplifier in. I can hear this fine.
let's do one of the giveaways, and then I want to share something, and then we'll do another giveaway after that. So, first giveaway, the sign. Oh, now you got to talk. Okay.
All right, guys, you ready for the trivia question? There's the question. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Petticoat Junction. You guys remember Petticoat Junction from way back? Petticoat Junction was set in a rural. There's a two-part question. It's what town was Petticoat Junction set in, and what was the name of the hotel?
Ooh, that's a Google. I remember seeing that when I was a little kid, but
I used to watch it all the time.
What was the name of the town that Petticoat Junction was in, and what is the name of the hotel? Two-part question. What was the name of the hotel?
gotta have
And
it.
what's the town? Ooh, Cheryl Jameson. Very good, Cheryl.
Sweet. Cheryl got it, huh?
Yep.
You remember the name of the town?
Give me your pen.
No.
Was it
Hootersville.
Hooterville, which has a whole new naming meaning these days. That's not really politically correct.
All right, congratulations, Cheryl.
Terrific, Cheryl Jameson.
And the hotel?
That's a new.
The hotel is Shady Rest Hotel.
Nicely done. All right, I'm going to share something with you guys that I've been working on for. This is not really sign related, but it's kind of woodworking related. There's a friend of mine that has a hot rod shop here in town. He did some work for me on my blue truck, and he's building an old Ford pickup, and he wanted to find out if I could make a custom dashboard for his old Ford. So this is where I'm at so far, and it's taken me, I don't know, 6 months to get to this point, and probably 40 trips back and forth to his hot rod shop and back. But it's kind of cool. He's got some custom gauges that are going here. This is actually, I'm going to put another block on the back of here, and this looks at the fuel gauge, which is on his kind of on the gas tank. So it's still
Is that any better?
got some sound issues going on. But also, it's the first time I've ever done wood inserts. So I drilled and put in some wood inserts because that's how it's going to mount from the top. But anyway, I'll show you guys this more as I go along. But this is a piece of curly maple that he had. He had a bunch of this stuff, and I planed it down. And
That's nice looking wood.
it is. I think it's going to look really cool with and he has a custom steering wheel that's made out of the same material. That I think it's going to look pretty cool when I get it all done. But there was I've probably got 40, 50 hours in this thing so far. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I'll show it to you guys as I go along once I get it all done and all of that. So, next giveaway, let me get this out of the way. I really don't want that to break. So now we're going to give away the Nebo stuff. So remember here, Dad,
Talk
if you want to hold
louder.
that up.
Talk louder.
We're going to give away the Nebo stuff. So we've got the lantern and then the headlamp. So these two are up for giveaway right now from Danny Meadows.
And that headlamp is rechargeable.
It is rechargeable, USB rechargeable, and the cable comes with it.
All right, here's the question. What was Barbie's boyfriend's full name? What is Barbie's boyfriend's full name?
Oh, I didn't even notice this. Look at this. I never even noticed that before. It's got a little
Brush for
a little
brushing the
brush for
mosquitoes off.
getting the dead mosquitoes off there. I guess that's
Full name.
That's pretty cool.
Todd Scholes. Kenneth Sean Carson. You are correct.
Todd Scholes.
Todd
I
Scholes.
think Todd's won before. Good job, Todd. So I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's got a little brush for cleaning off the dead bugs and stuff. That is pretty slick. I just noticed it right now. That is pretty darn cool. Great job. All right, so thank you again, Danny.
You want to go over that again?
Yeah, thank you again, Danny. So we encourage you guys, go check out some of these Nebo products. They got some hundreds of different products on his store. So this is his eBay store. And then once you get to that point, click the visit store and just type in the search, type in Nebo, and you'll see all of the different kinds of stuff they got. They're adding new products all the time. So
congratulations to Todd and Cheryl for winning our trivia.
Congratulations,
You're
guys.
going to like this. Whoever gets this, you're really going to like that.
That is cool.
That is.
Very neat. So,
Todd said I knew that from my sister. When she was young, she was a Barbie nut.
really, he didn't even have to Google that? That's crazy. I would, yeah, okay. So, a couple announcements. The Christmas Exchange, if you guys don't know about that, hit up Scott over at Make a Wood Sign Minions on the Facebook page. We're doing, if you're part of that Minions and you want to be part of the exchange where we're going to pair people up. Okay, Vicky's correcting me. Hit up Vicky. She'll give you all the details on it. But basically,
Send me an email.
we're going to pair people up and you're going to make a sign for each other and exchange, and then hopefully do an unboxing on video and post it on Facebook. But it's going to be cool, and we're going to do a drawing for that. If you want to be part of that, send Vicky an email. We're going to be doing a drawing a week from tomorrow. So, you know, we got about 8 days left, 7 days left. So you want to get your name in by a week from tonight, actually, because we'll be doing the drawing on Saturday morning. That's number one. Number two, we are having a Black Friday sale, so stay tuned. We'll have more details on that within the next week or two, and that's going to be a big sale. I think you guys will like that. And number three, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time, which is Arizona time this time of year, Vicki and I will be live on Facebook, and we got some cool stuff to go over with you in the morning. So, anything else?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just for your information.
Frank said, well, I'm sorry, Dave. Frank says, well, shucks, I was hoping that Jacene Palmer was going to chime in tonight. He was going to try.
Oh, Jacene.
We had about an hour-long phone call just before we went live. That would have been
Wow. I love Jacene and his wife. His Denise, I think, is his wife. They stopped by. They're from Canada. Jacene, amazing sign carver. And Denise, they were just delightful.
nice.
We had so much fun with
I'm
them.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just going to mention that daylight savings time, when it ends we go to mountain time. When the rest of the world is on daylight savings time, we're on Pacific time. So Arizona doesn't change, everybody else does, but we don't change. So everybody else is at a different time from us.
All right, boys and girls, that is it. If you guys have any questions, please email me directly, eric@makeawwoodsign.com. Please give us a thumbs up, like, and share this video if you find it helpful. Share it with someone, and we appreciate all your support, guys. We love you. Be safe out there. Have a great weekend.
Good night.
Bye, guys.